Hi everybody, Dan Illman here taking a look at the feature race at Delaware Park on Saturday. It's the feature race of the entire Delaware race meeting. It's race number 9 again for fillies and mares going 3-year-olds and up at 1 mile and 3/16, and it's the Grade 2 $500,000 Delaware Handicap. Let's take a peek at this field. Idiomatic is coming into this race for trainer Brad Cox off of a gate-to-wire performance at Churchill Downs in the Grade 3 Shawnee, where she earned a 102 Beyer speed figure. She is the only filly in this race that has cracked the triple-digit Beyer plateau, and I talked to Brad Cox earlier this week, and he says that Idiomatic is training very well for this race and that she wants even more distance, a fact highlighted by the first level allowance victory back at Turfway over a synthetic track where she won going 1.25 miles. She might be the best horse coming into this race. She might be in the best form, and as we take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector, she might get the best trip, and that's being on the lead in a blue bar scenario in a race that could favor horses on or near the lead. If she breaks quickly, Florent Giroux is likely to put this Curlin filly right on the lead, and she could be very dangerous as a gate-to-wire threat. Down towards the inside is Royal Take Charge, and this filly has done little wrong from 4 lifetime starts. She's won 3 of them. She finished a very close second in the other, and you could make the argument she was best the race she lost because that was a very inside speed favoring track at Keeneland back on April 21st. Royal Take Charge tried to rally outside from off the pace and just missed by a half length. She bounced back from that performance with an open lengths victory in a second level allowance at Churchill Downs. It was not the strongest field in the world. She's going to be facing much tougher here, but she also has a good amount of upside, the tactical speed to stay within striking range of the pace setter no matter how slow the pace is, and Royal Take Charge goes out for a very strong trainer in Al Stoll. Lots of upside. She's going to have to utilize it. She needs a Beyer boost. Off of her most recent couple of races. Battle Bling is the number 2. She's a really strong, solid horse. She was second in the Obeah last year at Delaware Park, just missing by a half length to Miss Leslie. She was a well-beaten second in the Delaware Handicap behind the sharp Miss Leslie. Then she went on to win a stakes race at Laurel and a graded stakes race in New York, and maybe she eventually got tired towards the end of the year and into early 2023. We haven't seen her since February for the high percentage Rob Atras barn, but when we did last see her, it was in the Heavenly Prize Stakes, a live event where the first 2 finishers came back to win. The winner of that race came back to win a Grade 3 at Keeneland with a 93 Beyer, then ran 3rd behind Idiomatic in the Shawnee Stakes with a 96 Beyer speed figure. Battle Bling has run strong figures and really seems to appreciate these longer distances. You may not want to count her out, despite the fact that she's coming off of a healthy layoff. Idiomatic is the number 3. Her most recent start speaks for itself on paper. She went to the lead, she kept on going, and she grinds it out in the manner of a filly that just wants a little bit more distance than that 1 1/16. She earned a 102 Beyer, as mentioned that day, and I like how Brad Cox has handled her very patiently. Ran through her conditions, ran in a little stakes race at Turfway Park, and now has jumped up into the Grade 2s and Grade 3s and has run well in both of those starts. She's the horse to catch. She's the horse to beat. Game Stonks is tough to make on paper. She ran in the Grade 1 Ogden Phipps last time out as a 42-to-1 chance. They let her make the lead in that race. She tired very badly. She is a solid first-level allowance type in the Mid-Atlantic region. Maybe she's a second-level allowance type, but she's got to prove her mettle against graded stakes horses. It'll be interesting to see how Kevin Gomez rides her in here. Does she try to take the race to Idiomatic and try to make the lead one more time as she did in the Ogden Phipps? Is she going to try to rate? Either way, it seems like a tough task for Game Stonks. Classy Edition goes out for Todd Pletcher. This horse got back on the winning beam last time out against fellow New York breds in the Critical Eye Stakes, going a 1-turn mile and a 16th. Classy Edition bobbled pretty badly, a couple of strides out of the gate, but soon recovered to prompt a really reasonable pace. She made the lead turning into the stretch, and she wins with something in reserve. A 96 Beyer speed figure puts her right in the mix here. Now that race was a 1-turn route, and the prior time time they tried graded stakes competition with her, the La Troyenne, she was probably in just a little bit too tough against the likes of Played Hard and Search Results and Secret Oath. She is already a graded stakes winner this year, having won the Royal Delta, going a mile and a 16th, but I do worry a bit about her stretching all the way out to a mile and 3/16. She has enough tactical speed to stay within range of Idiomatic. I would expect Kendrick Carmouche to really gear Classy Edition up entering the second turn, and maybe those two will hook up and put on a show the last 3/16 of a mile or so. Morning Matcha should not be disrespected in this race. Here's her most recent performance. It's the Obeah. It's the local prep for the Delaware Handicap. She just got wired this day. Award Wanted was able to set her own walking pace, almost a 50-second half mile. Morning Matcha was able to sit a pretty good trip, saving ground, but I think she just gave up too much position to a horse that had everything her own way on the lead. Award Wanted sprinting on home. Morning Matcha's really trying, and she just falls short by a nose. This horse got very good for the Red Hot Butch Reed barn towards the end of 2022, finishing second to Society in the Grade 1 Cotillion on her home track, then third in the Grade 3 Cumley. Again, a mile and 3/16. It's a little bit of a question mark for Morning Matcha, but in her third start of the form cycle, she appears to be moving the right way, and the price should certainly be square. You're getting some really strong connections in Butch Reed and Paco Lopez. We'll take a look at my top selection for the Grade 2 $500,000 Delaware Handicap. It anchors a very strong card at Delaware Park on Saturday. I just think Idiomatic's going to be a little bit too tough for this field. If she breaks, she can get to the front, and I think she wants the distance a little bit more than her main competition, which could be Classy Edition. So I'm curious to see how Idiomatic handles this race, and then maybe Brad will step her on up against some of the real toughies in the division a little bit later on in the summer and into the fall. Idiomatic, my top pick in the Delaware Handicap. Good luck.